Yo, family, what's good? What's good, man? It's been long overdue, way long overdue, but we back here, the Prolific Podcast. I'm not sure what number episode this is, but let's just do it like we starting the whole season over. All right, it's your man DJ. Was good? Been missing y'all. I'm back here with my dog, my man Donnie. Was good, homie?
Ain't nothing, bro. Welcome back, bro. Straight up.
Yeah. So, but we back on a different topic at this time around. We're going to talk about the gun violence in our city, and the effect that it's taking and how it's tearing down the city, how it's changing us, it's changing the youth, it's changing the older people, it's changing our way of living, and also what some of the things that we can do to make it better, some suggestions and shit, stuff like that. So I can start with me, man. It hurts. So, we recently had a loss in our city. A lot of y'all heard about it. Is the shooting that happened at the Longcrest area. That's what kind of prompted me to do this episode, to start back up earlier than I thought that I really wanted to. I figured it touched me because I know those young fellas, man. Like personally, not personally when I say like not like the best friends, but I met them. I came across them in their life. I know their family and stuff like that. Their fathers, their mothers, and things like that. So I just felt compelled to do my part. Talk about it, honor them in a more positive way.
Yeah, definitely rest in peace to the young men that lost their life out there.
And also to the ones that, that's been incarcerated.
Yeah.
Because they family losing them too as well.
Yeah.
Possibly. We hope it don't. Hope that everything justice is, does this thing and God does this thing as well, most importantly. But, it's two families. Well, a lot of families in that situation, but, it's two sides of everything that, took drastic losses about it. Mm-hmm. So I just think it's time, man. It's time for a change, like a big change. So I've recently came in a place in my life where I came across a program where I go to and I volunteer, and I'm around some juveniles, that's has done some things in their life and they like paying for it with time away from their family and their freedom and things like that. And I wanted to use that time to talk to them and try to pick their brain, because a lot of things that we see on the TV or no guns on and things like that, we always want to try to put a face to who's actually doing this madness out here. I'm actually in a position where as though I actually see and talk, to some of those individuals, and before I judge and point fingers or blame or anything, in order to try to tap in to those people, like to figure out why they do the things that they do, I think it's important that we understand them.
Yeah.
And try to understand things, because I got a saying, is a difference of talking to a person and talking at them. So I try to use that time, try to talk to them and figure out why. Why is it so easy for them to throw their life away? Why is it so easy for them to take another life? Mm-hmm. At a young age, you're supposed to have so much fun inside you and be eager to do things to have fun. Because a lot of our kids nowadays, they just infatuated with taking each other's life. I just think it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy thing, especially when it's so highlighted all over the place. Like you'll see it on social media, you see it in the music. You see it in the neighborhood itself. You know what I mean? People, I don't know, young kids, it's easy to become a product of your environment, whether you grew up with, just your mom or just your dad or your grandparents or your great-grandparents had to raise you and stuff like that. That, having that, I ain't gonna say like strong structure, because there's a lot of strong single moms, strong single dads, and grandmothers, everybody that step up and do their thing. But it's easy for a young kid to go outside, look to his left and say, a man over there working, you look to his right, you see my man over there selling drugs, and they come out and they really gotta make that choice. You know what I mean? And kids is like easily influenced out of boredom. You know what I mean? You just be bored and you come outside, it's like, he at work all the time, so I don't see him like that 8-10 hours. Mm-hmm. But I see these boys down here all the time, and they look like it'd be lit. You know what I mean? They go down there, and if they make a couple dollars, you fall in love with it. You be 35 years old, and we fall in love with money. So imagine a young boy, 14, 15, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, but come across. We seen that some guys that was really getting to it when we was coming up as young boys, in our immediate surroundings and stuff like that. And, you know, they kind of, you know, didn't let us be a part of that.
Yeah.
So even if we was attracted to the lifestyle, you know what I mean, they looked out and stuff like that, but we wasn't blind. We wasn't naive. We knew where it came from. And myself, more importantly, I mean, I can't say it on here, but I'll tell you once we go off air, who I tried to, you know, do some things for it so I can try to live that life, make my own money.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, what's up with you though? Why are you trying to do that? And I was like trying to explain to him, and he threw me the couple of dollars and, you know, to give me what I was trying to do. So luckily God for him, because I knew better. I ain't had no business doing that shit. It was just trying to grow up, or what I thought maybe was a okay opportunity at the time. Even though I knew it was wrong, but I'm luckily that I did have that guy that was doing those things around the time, but he wasn't a monster. Because a youth came to him with desires to do some of the things that I seen him doing. And he completely just turned me away like, nah, man, that shit ain't for you.
All right.
Here you go, take this and take your ass back up the street. And that's what a lot of these kids nowadays is missing. Because you got these older guys that's above them that's putting the guns and shit in their hand. And then you got their friends that they confide in that don't know shit, haven't been through anything, a year older or younger than them.
Yeah, blindly in the blind,
right.
almost.
And they doing things for their approval. So there's nobody that's around to check them when they doing nut shit. When they doing something out of pocket. They it's like they homies doing the same shit that they're doing. So who's checking who? You know, so.
And there's so many different situations. Like I said, it could be, you know, just single mom, single dad, grandma, but it's almost like we could put it on ourselves to be like some kind of mentor to where you see these young boys. Like you said, for me personally, you could be like halfway in, halfway out. Like I don't know, like street nigga, but you be like, I was highly influenced when I was 17 years old, 16 years old. I'm highly influenced by what I see, by what I hear on the music. Like you couldn't tell us we was watching rap DVDs and State Property. We wanted to do everything that them boys was talking about.
Right.
Like every single
dressing
thing
like them and everything.
Dressing like everything they talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I know how easily influenced they can be, but then it's like you still gotta have a positive role model on the side too. And it's like you got like different kind of young boys out here. Like for us, we partied all the time. So I was a vicious Wu-Tang boy at Fred's. You know what I mean? But they got that out here now too. The young boys be doing they thing and all that. He's got stone cold shooters, which they putting them in our face, you know what I'm saying, with the Instagram and stuff like that. Like I ain't outside to where as though I see it, but it's right there on Instagram, and it's clearly affecting a lot of people around me and things like that too. But you got young boys that just want to get high. You got young boys that's like true hustlers or whatever. But it's so much. And it's so hard to really touch on, but my solution, like how you say when you talk about solutions, is like them, like every young boy deserve an old head, and every old head should have a young boy. You know what I mean? And if we could try our best to keep it like that, you know what I mean, grip one up, because these kids, not to be rambling, whatever, but they be really bored. They really don't be knowing, you know what I'm saying, what they doing, and I could speak on it because it was like I was one of those kids, but. If we can find some things, like if you an uncle or you a cousin or you a pop and you do plumbing or you do carpentry or something like that, like grab a young boy, you see what he doing, you see he really just out there like not doing nothing. Say, come with me for the day or whatever. If you really got the opportunity to do so or whatever the case may be. But I was telling my man, I was like he was having issues with his son or whatever like that, and I just was like, bring him out and let him help him like fix the sink one time. He might find it fun. You know what I mean? You never know what you can tap into with a young kid or whatever. But I think the main thing is just being bored.
Yeah. And then also what they're exposed to as well. Like when they come out to the house, that's all they see. So they're gonna be a part of. Yeah. They don't got no men around in their life that's supposed to be setting the example. There's nothing really for them to mimic. Yeah. Other than what they see, so that goes back to having the father around in the house and having a good example. But there is sometimes where as though you do have fathers that's been there 24/7, that's been in their kid life, and a child still decided to take the road the wrong path. So I know personally with experience with me and my middle son. I have a total of 3 sons, and the situation with me and my boy definitely needs to get better, you know. And of course, I'll be the man and a bigger person, you know, to say it starts with me, and you know, of taking a bigger step and more productivity into, you know, making this thing better.
Right.
Stop making excuses or situations like with the relationship with me and his mom and stuff and so forth and so on like that. Stopping from keeping that thing happening. But and then you want to say it's a two-way street, but then people will make it sound like you complain and not being accountable.
Yeah.
So I try not to do that, but I also know it's definitely things that I should be doing better and can be doing better, you know, when it comes to that. So I definitely plan on doing that, because especially after this tragedy that just happened, it touched me. Like my son is their age, the son that I'm speaking of, and I couldn't imagine how I would feel if it was one of mine. And the two of the kids that passed, I know their fathers. You know one of them. Like, I actually know both of them. Handshake, it was good. What's going on? Conversating with, and stuff like that. And I know how much they love their boys. And I couldn't imagine, like, if I was to ever get that phone call by any three of my sons. Yeah. And the fact that the relationship between me and my boy isn't where it should be, you know, imagine, God forbid, if I ever had to get that phone call and our relationship is what it is now. You know, that would be kind of tough for me. It'll be a hurt piece. So again, sometimes you'd be surprised that what it would take to happen to make you, you know, want to change or to actually press that go button, you know, to make things better. But it's not neither here nor there of how many times I've actually tried or attempted to do that, because it didn't work. More importantly, you know, it's me, starting with me, and whoever else out there that may be having issues with their child or their daughter, their son, whatever it may be, to know, regardless of how tough it may be and how frustrating it may be, I mean, they're ours. They are kids. It's important that, you know, we continue to try and, you know, get in our kids' life and stay in them. Like one of the fathers of a fallen kid, he had a saying that he kept screaming out so passionately with all his hurt in his eyes, with tears rolling down his face: "Get y'all fucking kids. Get y'all kids." He said it again. He said, "Get y'all kids." And I heard that, like that ring, like that echoed in my ear. So if I want to be one of the voices out here that's saying that we need more fathers to be around in their life to help steer these young boys, or we need more men around, I want to stand front line with that as well. So I want to be a better father than I already am, because I'm a great father. Anybody that really knows this know about me. So just to let you know, if there's anything going on, there's a story behind it. But nonetheless, we don't make excuses. I stand on the things that I should be doing better. So again, we'll start with that. So I encourage any of you other guys that's out there, you know, acknowledge what's going on. Acknowledge some of the, you know, the hurt or some of the things that you've done or that you could do better to get back into, you know, your boys' life, because they need us out here. And these little girls as well. They need us men around. More men and more good examples.
That accountability mean everything, man. Because for kids, they be like, you know, 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever. They still babies. You know what I mean? They still babies. You can't. They can say what they want to do and what they don't want to do. But as the superior, I'm gonna say superior, as a father, you know, as a mother or whatever, you still gotta try your best to stand your ground. Like, if you can't hold it emotionally, you know what I'm saying, you know somebody out there that's a little bit stronger, that's, you know, a good father, or not good father, but you see people being parents, because not to say nobody better than others, but you see people being parents. We can ask anybody for advice on, you know, what you can do, or what's your perspective on this, or whatever the case may be. But I don't have a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old, but I was once 15, 16 and just running around just blind, just getting high at 12 years old, 13, 14, 15, just high, just getting drunk, whatever the case may be, as a young boy. And I had to fight through like a whole lot. Like a lot could have happened at that time, but I was able to, like, me personally, just able to like get over that adversity. And to this day, we still gonna get our adversity, but we definitely gotta be there for our kids. Like, you can't let even if your son 21, like you can't tell him, I mean, you can't say, man, he disrespectful, right? He don't want to do this, he don't want to do that. At whatever 35, 40, 45, 50 years old, we have enough experience to present them an opportunity or whatever. If you think they bored, you gotta figure out if they like boxing, if they like basketball, if they like football, if they like whatever they like, drawing, if they like dancing, whatever the case may be active in that. You know what I mean? Get involved with that. Yeah, we be at work 10, 12 hours a day, but we just like you answer the phone who you want to answer your phone to. You know what I'm saying?
So you make time for what you want to make time for.
Facts. You make time for who you want to make time for. And your kid is more than anything. You know what I mean?
But what up? We kind of getting off topic like we always do. You know, just talking naturally like homies, just lifelong friends is all we always do. But before we get off topic, what about, you know, some of the guys that, you know, patience is not as thick as others because you know it is some mothers out here and there's some situations out here that makes it very hard for a father to be a father. You know, so we got to be careful, you know, and we got to make sure we acknowledge that because those are some of the things that men go through. When they want to be there, they're trying to be there, but you know, you also have that other side that's making it very difficult, and vice versa. You know, because there's some men out here, not believe it or not, because it's reality. There's some men out here that's the full-time parent, and then you got the woman that's on the outside that's trying to be that mother. Maybe he's giving her a hard way to go because of her past and stuff like that. So we got
my right-hand man, Wayne, definitely a full-time single father at one point before he got married, whatever the case may be. So he definitely is out there. What I could say, like,
but what about that? Like, what do they? How do they fix that? How do they handle that?
Is the experience and the things that you went through. Like me personally, for me it was like I got a little brother. You know what I mean, Trey Mayer. So I was able to witness. Like, as he was growing up and having issues with, hold on,
Take your time, bro.
Yeah,
it's like
I don't know. I was young. All I know is that, you know, when your dad ain't around and stuff like that, that shit like really. It holds something to you. Like, you can act like you having fun or you partying and you got this and you got that. You act like all that may happen, but when your pops ain't around sometimes, even if you don't see him for years, you know who he is. You know you still love him or whatever like that. And people be yawning at, like, people be like, you need that. Like, so even if you having issues with your young boy or whatever the case may be and he lashing out, when they lash out, that's the only way people know how to react is with anger.
Get back to him.
That's all they know. They only doing that because that's how they react. Some people can't react with love and say, "Oh, I miss you" or whatever like that. Nah, they angry at the time. So don't just give up on them. Like, you can't just give up on them. And then, like, I got a 4-year-old now, and there's no way I'm giving up. Like,
shout out to
you gotta know everything that you go through or whatever like that. I just keep telling myself I cannot give up. Like, I'm not giving up. Like, I'm not giving up. Like, I need to be a father. I have to be a father.
Don't we pray that they remember this, that they understand? Because we, as men, like I said, we're in a position where we can't complain.
It be on us, man.
We just hope that our kids, our young kings and queens, like, they really remember, you know, the sacrifice and the things that we done for them. Because that's our ultimate reward. Like, dad is never going to get the just due that we actually deserve. You know, our just due is going to be when our kids, you know, make it and they're successful and they give that speech of, well, my dad told me this, so I did it because of a conversation I had with my dad, or I watched my dad do this. That's the ultimate gratification, man. I don't think, like I said, man, we ain't never going to get, well, I know, me.
I don't even think it's being selfish to think like that, because mothers want the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, mothers want the same thing. Fathers want the same exact thing. And it's like, we got to be there for ours. You know what I mean? Got to be there for us.
Yeah, so let's get back into real quick about the, you know, the effects of not having them around. So when I'm at with my group, I'm talking to them about some of the decisions that they should make and some of the things that they should think about, or what the things that they think is cool now is only cool, you know, because of the age that they are. And when they get my age, or not even as up there where I'm at, I ain't that old, motherfucker. even if they ain't up there where we at, you know, they're going to see that some of the wild and crazy shit that they doing now is going to be considered corny.
Yeah.
So I preach to them about having a plan. Have a plan. I mean, you incarcerated, you're in a program, you sitting down, you ain't got nowhere to be, you ain't got to go to work, you ain't got to go to school. Use this time to actually think and come up with a plan. Because whatever you was doing before, it didn't work. It failed. That's why you're there. So now use this time to actually sit down and think about a plan of what you can do. And then when you're out there, you know, unless you want to come back to that little ass box and them cold ass mills, you know, you might want to reevaluate that and remember your plan. I sat for all this time thinking about this plan. Now I'm going to put it to work.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time to think about it. If it's going to be a good plan or not, to reevaluate and stuff like that.
I like it. If you break it down to him like that, I love that shit.
Oh man,
I would
for
say,
sure.
But make it even deeper is like we can say that to him, and you don't really want to hold nobody's hand either, but they really be needing you to hold their hand. So it's like now we gotta, yo, young boy, did you get that poster board? Did you get that pen? You didn't get it yet? All right, I'm gonna grab it for you. I'm gonna go get it, and then write down your plan. You know what I'm saying? Write down what you want to do, because that's just exactly. I can't say it the same way you said it, but everything you just now said, if we can really get them to do that, because it'll be in their head or whatever. Man. But if they act on it more so than anything right away, that'll be
but it's gonna take. Like I always say, 1 turn to 2, 2 turn to 4. Like it's gonna take more of us. I can do that shit till I'm blue in the face, and I continue to do it as long as God bless me to take these breaths and be here. But you know, if they get to go around such and such, and he telling them the total opposite of what I'm saying, it's just a matter of them choosing what sound cool to them.
Yeah,
So I just us as men, I just wish something happened, man. Like that we'll turn this corner and really like start to get back to protect our neighborhood, protect our women, protect our youth, and stop just saying, "Oh man, these kids is fucking out of control," or "Ain't no saving these kids," or "These kids too far gone." I mean, the longer we think that, the deeper the hole gonna get. It gotta start somewhere. Even when I tell them like that's with us, is with adults and older people in the neighborhood. And then I tell the young boys, it got to start with y'all. You'll know when your friend do something corny or he do some shit he ain't had no business doing. But them as kids, they can be the one to step out and be like, yo, that shit lame. Because you got a whole group out of 100, you got 90 of them saying that shit is fly.
What they do, yeah.
So if you be the 10% and the 10 percentile over here to speak negative about that, you the cornball. You the one they disown and they'll start fucking with you. And nowadays, a lot of kids need acceptance or they want acceptance. So they not in a rush to be like, to alienate themselves from their only friends that they got. Yeah. Family, there's really no family in the household, no family gatherings like it used to be. It's damn sure it's a lot of single parent households. And then you got that one single parent that's always out or working. And the only thing they got is their friends. So when they looking for acceptance, and the people that they looking for acceptance is condoning the dumb shit, they like, how could you really expect them to change? Yeah. You know, so it got to take that one friend to be like, yo, bro, nah, I'm not doing that today. I'm cool. I'd rather be out here. I'm not going to jail. I'm not about to go shoot that person. That shit is lame. I'm not about to take a life. And then hopefully he said in a way that his friend hear him. Now that one turned into 2. And now people trying to figure out where it's such and such and such and such at. They don't fuck with us no more. No, it's not. We fuck with y'all. We still cool, but we just ain't knowing that no more. That wave is done. And then now that 2 can turn into 4, so forth and so on. It got to start somewhere. And a lot of these kids, like I said, that when I talk to them and I try to pick their brain about it, there's a lot of things with pride and acceptance. They don't want to be corny. They don't want to be not the cool guy and shit like that. So,
and talking that positive shit is definitely some corny shit to them young boys. They straight look like, oh yeah, get your ass out of here,
bro. I have no problem.
Big ass boots.
I have no problem letting them know. Like, I know it's on corner to y'all, but that's fine because I know one of them hear me, and that's the start. 1 to 2, man. 2 to 4. All right, so yeah, we touched down on some of the things that was going on. So I think now we need to talk about some solutions, some of the things that we think that we can do to help better that. I mean, because it's definitely a crazy uphill battle. I mean, like uphill, like straight up. You know what I mean? It's gonna be hard as shit to climb this hill, but again, it has to start from somewhere. And that's our starting point. So just you have any suggestions, or 1 or 2, or maybe that you think that will help, or where we can start from as a city, as a neighborhood?
I mean, you can say they can come outside and they can see us, But when you open your phone and you see whatever, whether it's rappers, movie theaters, actors, whatever the case may be, those some of their biggest influences. Like we could put on, you could put on Snowfall, and you'll see the boy get. I mean, everybody spoiler for the latest episode, but you'll see him getting money and all that, and that's what the kids. That's all they seeing. You know what I'm saying? They become highly influenced. You see the rappers talking about shooting, fucking as many bitches as they can, and doing drugs. They just, and Nicki Minaj just said something about Future. I posted on my Instagram how he talk about all the drugs, all the drugs he take, and he said he really a lightweight. And she say she was appalled. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And these kids really out there popping pills and want to have all these girls because Future said, like, let's do something.
And he really don't even carry it that way.
And not to single them out, but like these rappers, these professional entertainers is what the young 16, 17-year-olds need to know. They professional entertainers, even the young rappers that's out there. When you do get into the game, you should hear the stories of the people that say they wish they never met their favorite rapper. They don't be that. Like, they really imitating the lifestyle that you want to live. They rapping about it, and you're doing it. And it's like an ongoing cycle. But we won't never really be able to understand that because that's not what they putting in front of our face. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's $1 billion business. They ain't listening to Donnie, but you got positive rappers out there, but then you got a whole lot of negative rappers out there that literally just don't do what they say, but they just imitating everything that y'all doing. Well, that we was doing, you know what I mean?
Well, the main source of that is drill music. And I'm not by the front, you know. Some of that shit is some of the hottest shit out here.
Trash, right?
Trash. I fuck with Dirk.
No, it depends. It depends on the mood though. But we old enough and we able to distinguish the two.
The difference,
like, we'll
right?
Go up and we'll turn out. It's turn up crazy. Like
we're gonna turn up to shit the age where we at the time where we enjoying the fucking song. So now when we listen to the song, it's more so of a reminder of a good fucking time or like reminiscing and shit like that. Yeah. Some of these kids now, the young bucks, they looking forward to that life. Like we done did that shit already. You know what I mean? We went through it. We say that shit ain't get. I always say it got me nothing. Yeah. Like I don't have nothing from that life. All the hours that I spent in that fucking club, I don't have shit but experience of being like a bomb ass DJ. But other than that, bro, no money. The fucking all the fucking women that you might have met and ain't the fuck around.
No, I always say
if you got nobody around, or you got that one motherfucking person that been around since then, where it's like, fuck, I should have just. No, I know you was gonna be here this long. Like
we was out Monday through Sunday, literally.
Yeah,
just partying. But these young boys out here, the little dancing little young boys, that was like we used to want to go out and party and turn up and stuff like that. But it's definitely no end result. I mean, unless you the
same young boys that get out there and do that shit. The same motherfuckers that'll blow your fucking head off.
That's the crazy part.
So the nigga, like, normally back in the day, like, you know, the dudes that dance, they wasn't tough. You'll get some of the ones that can dance that, you know, maybe try and put their hands on you. But, you know, the dancers, the dudes that came to the club to dance, to have a good time, they wasn't really the fighters. Yeah. They weren't really coming out to really, like, put hands on nobody. Now these young boys would be doing all that dancing and shaking that shit with a fucking ladder on their hip.
Yeah. Like, they got a couple memes out there. I was laughing at it because it's entertainment, but that shit don't be funny though. You see,
it's funny. It's funny the fact to see that they can go from doing that fucking crazy ass dance to turn into a total menace in the matter of seconds. Yeah. That's the funny part about it, because that's the little humor in the reality of it. But the actual thoughts of them really doing that shit isn't funny. But speaking of that, these parties and shit like that where these kids go, a lot of them still show up and walk the streets with these fucking ski masks on. Yeah, this is a big thing. I think play a huge role in this city, in particular with a lot of these crimes and shootings and shit that's going on. Because, I mean, you can pretty much get as close as we are to each other right now to a total stranger, and they probably wouldn't see anything coming if they didn't know no better. You know what I mean, walk right by you, and the moment y'all cross each other's path, turn right around and blow your fucking brains up. You know what I mean? Because this mask and ski mask and this corona mask shit, it just became normal. I believe that's a huge start. That shit should be banned. I don't care about, you know, I know the youngins that's going to see this or hear about that is going to think I'm being like the grump or, nah. Think about it. What I'm saying, I'm not trying to be corny. Or I'm not trying to be the old head about this shit or whatever. these people are using these ski masks and doctor masks and shit like that to get close to people. Now, back in the day when if a person walked up on the block with a ski mask on or something covering their face, everything fucking stops. What the fuck is he about to do? What's going on? It's like if a lion in the jungle trying to sneak up on a fucking gazelle or something like that. And now they see the lion. The whole jungle is watching the lion. His pursuit is done. He can't sneak up on nobody no more. Now, they right there. They walk right down the street with a fucking whole ninja outfit on.
Yeah, it's almost.
So I think, not to cut you off, bro. It gotta get to that point where as though that shit needs to be banned in the city. I mean, the sale of them. That's the thing. I'm gonna start with that. I don't think that's ever going to stop because that's business, and people are always going to do whatever for profit. Fuck life and fuck people well-being and humanity. People gonna do whatever they gotta do to get the dollar. I'm just saying, starting with like stores, malls, or retail places, or places of business, schools, and things like that. You should not be allowed to walk in with that shit on, even through the airport, anywhere. Yeah. You shouldn't be allowed to do it. It has to start there. Cause that stop. Cause these fucking people be walking by. You don't even understand why they got this shit. Like, what the fuck are they about to do? Yeah. It's like a thing with like a stereotype or like races. Every time you see a black person, you cross the street. Yeah. Every time one of these little motherfuckers or somebody walk past me, bro, with a fucking mask on, I'm on high alert. Yeah. I could be having a great day, mine somewhere else, but it immediately stops because of the crazy shit that's going on in the city. And when you see the videos on certain internets and shit like that, or certain sites or pages, that's what they got on. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think it's like common sense. You can literally walk into a store nowadays with a ski mask on, and motherfuckers are serious. You had no problem with it. You walk into a ski mask before all this corona shit went on, some motherfucker gonna blow your head off, the right owner. They think you coming in to rob this shit. So now these kids walking around here with that shit on, and I ask the youngest, well, why you wearing that shit? Oh, they ops. They got ops.
I ain't never get a chance. I never asked the young boy why he wear that ski mask, but like you said, I be on high alert because of that situation too. But it kind of don't make, just like you said, before coronavirus, you could not wear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Then now afterwards, it's like it's a given, but it's like a lot of these kids, there's a lot of followers and stuff like that too, because that's always gonna be a thing when you're dealing with young people that can't really think for themselves all the way. So they probably really just following the trend. Like, bro, you got kids.
Let me tell you, bro. Yeah, man, we did that. We did that shit and still gonna do that shit when it comes to that dress and shit. I would never wore that shit when we was young boys. I would never walk around. Like, first of all, my mom would curse me the fuck out if I'm walking outside, it's fucking 80 degrees and I got a ski mask on. Or even if they do the cool shit when they want to roll it up and try to turn it into a hat, this shit still looks sloppy, bro. Like, my mom would say something about that shit. This shit would be corny. Like, as y'all, as my homies, that shit would look corny. This is what I always tell people about my friends, bro. Like, you couldn't, right up. Like, oh my God, man. Like, we kept each other straight. You couldn't come around, you wear no bullshit, or come around doing no corny shit, or doing no shit that was considered like weirdo shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We pretty much did a good job of keeping each other straight when it came to that type of shit. So I always, when I talk about y'all guys, I definitely appreciate y'all for that, for us being around with each other and like pretty much
1800, bro.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like, pretty much teaching us, each other the right thing to do, mm-hmm. holding each other accountable. That's why a lot of us now are great dads. A lot of us work. I say it, but I'll be so scared to like say it like the Jinx. Like, we've lost some friends, but like our immediate like circle, we never really dealt with. You know what I mean,
too close.
Close. We got Kyrie. That was due to you, but that was due to with the cop situation. It wasn't like real.
Right, senseless beefing, got ops and all that.
Regardless of what happened, that's nonetheless what was his demise. We lost Haas, so motorcycle accident, and we all still praying and still believing that we're gonna see that slim, skinny, fly, little, slick, smooth talking Seabuck motherfucker turn that corner one day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So other than that, man, am I forgetting anybody? Hopefully I didn't.
No, that's
from like the block that are immediate, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? So we blessed, man. Yeah. So I thank y'all, and that we, like I said, we kept each other together, and looked out for each other like his brothers, man. I always tell people, like, I got the same friend that I literally had to ask my mom, can I go around the corner?
Yeah.
Or could you cross me across the street to go play with? Like, we tremendously blessed to be able to tell people that, and really to sit back and think that when our weddings, that's why anytime we go to a wedding, it should be lit.
Yeah, because
all of us there, bro.
It really look like we be at the level room all over in the middle of the dance floor.
Because we can step right back into that shit.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You could be in a different point in your life, but you can still let these little motherfuckers know, like, hold up. Like, I be at tell my motherfucking son, I be like, yo, bro, like, wait till you get a little older. Like, do I really need to, like, take you out somewhere? Feel like, you see, like, you got me fucked up if you thinking I'm one of these. I ain't nothing like your friends. He got some of his friends that got like the old ass parents and shit like that. So I guess he think,
bro.
I've been telling that motherfucker like, yo,
they gonna tell you, bro, you ain't got it no more, bro. You old, bro.
Motherfucker,
I tell you,
know, if I take this little motherfucker out with me one day when we really,
that's what they gonna. That's
on
what
our
they
shit.
saying though.
Like,
That's
I can't
what
wait
saying.
though. I can't wait to take DJ out for the first. Well, not for the first time because he doing his thing.
Yeah.
He go out with his guys. He go out with his guys here and there. But I'm gonna take my step out with his pot one day.
Yeah.
You know, before I get too fucking old. You know what I mean? But
I'm gonna be. Damn, when my son turned 21.
Oh shit,
Damn,
you bro.
Yeah,
but see, my
like
youngest
55, almost 60, but I probably still be able.
What?
Probably almost be a little something, bro. Yeah. I'm glad he get to get. I'm glad he get to get the 33 and up. You know what I'm saying? I'm 35 now, but like this different, mature Donnie. You know what I'm saying? Be able to a little more patience and things like that. I mean, we pray that we can get to the point where we get over that little hump, because it wasn't all peaches and creams for none of us. Even if I speak as a whole from 1800, we all got our own adversities that we go through. We go through them by ourselves. Sometimes we reach out to this, we reach out to that person, but we all, just like everybody in the world, like we all go through some stuff. But you gotta know that you got people there that's going to talk to you or whatever, man. Shout out my man Kurt too. I love my man Kurt. Little tragic situation, but I was just happy that I can still be able to have a conversation with him. You know what I'm saying? One of my mans, that was just like you said, we walked down the street and I had to tell my grandma, can I go with Kurt? Yeah. And then Kurt got to come in and see my grandma about something. You know what I'm saying? Something happened. Kurt made me shit on myself too. I don't like that shit, Kurt. I'll get you back for that shit.
Hey, listen. Yo, bro, when I heard about what happened to him, man, this shit, like, shit was tough. And then a cool ass dude like him that always like show love, that always fucking smiling, always a good vibe, and something like that had to happen to him. So I was like, damn, I wanted to go see him, but I heard like what was going on with him and stuff like that, and I'm not good at that. You know what I mean? Being able to be around that type of stuff.
If I'm being
but when I talk to him on the fucking phone, and I tell you, his fucking spirit is the same way.
I was about to say before.
This shit was fucking crazy, and I'm like, I'm feeling like, damn, I don't want to ask any weird questions, or I don't want to ask the same obvious shit that everybody asks me on the phone. And the dude was the same fucking way, man. Still bunch of jokes, come roll up with me, and shit like that. I'm like, it makes you feel better, man. It makes you feel better, like about life and some of the things that you think you going through. Like I had another homie that recently had to go sit down and do some jail time, and I haven't talked to him. We was actually supposed to do we were supposed to do something together as like partners and shit like that. But him having to go sit down stopped that, and I was so eager to get back to work to what we did before, because we were so good at it and shit with each other, and that's all we talked about. So all we talked about, literally, that we were so good at it. That's all we were. That's all. Like we could start off having a conversation over here, but it always came back to that in particular thing. And when I wanted to call and talk to him, because I became the head coach back with football and shit like that, and I wanted just to share some ideas with him and talk to him about it like we normally would. And when I found out that he couldn't be there, that shit was kind of like tough, and I was like kind of reluctant to call him what we would talk about. Shit like that. And there's another one. Fucking spirit was through the roof. Like all hope in the world. So you gotta stop feeling bad for people that's not feeling bad for themselves, man. You gotta, just pray for them and be good friends to them, be good people to them. Lend a helping hand if you got to. But I don't think in all situations you help people trying to feel sorry for them and make them a certain type of case. So I feel sorry for our youth, for what they're going through, what they're doing to each other, but
need them to be able to get over the hump.
I'm fortunate in the few situations I'm in with, coaching football and shit like that, and where a place where I volunteer at. I keep saying a place because I don't know how I can disclose it, anything for for privacy things, stuff like that. But I'm blessed to be in those situations, man. Yeah. And I think, what I mean, even when we had a job back in the day where Germ had hooked us up with, when we would drive kids around that had like behavior problems to their school, home, back and forth to their programs, stuff like that. I just always been involved in, helping the kids and shit like that. So I talked to my mom about it. She think like that's like a calling of mine.
That's a good job, bro.
Sometimes
that's
they get
high level of mentorship you got going on.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Right, because I really love it. It's all from the heart. So I believe like it's some type of calling that's to it. So that's why I felt compelled, to do this podcast, talk about the youth for a second, give some suggestions on some of the things that we can do and some of the things that I've heard from them. So, but I kind of missed one. So I actually had a conversation with a few of them, and I wanted to ask them, just to rewind back to what we was doing. I know I just jumped segments, but I just wanted to make sure I touched down on this. I asked them, a few of them, why is it so easy, for y'all to take a life or to throw your life away? And none of them could really give me an actual answer other than they're scared of somebody doing something to them. So if they have words with somebody, because of the way of the world is now, and how the young boys, how they carried and so forth and so on. If we were young boys and I had a problem with you, in my mind, I just think you're automatically going to shoot me when you see me. Like that's how you're going to retaliate. I don't think you're going to put your hands up because nobody don't do it. I think you're going to come back with a gun. So I'm going to automatically go get my gun. Yeah. And now I'm so scared that when I see you, I'm going to just start fucking busting off regardless of who around, because I'm scared that you're going to do something to me. That's what, if I had to give a ratio of 10, 6 or 7 strong said that's they scared that they didn't, obviously they going to be tough and they're not going to use the word scared, but it's always, if I don't bring my gun, what if he bring his? Yeah. What if I leave my home and he bring his? Yeah. And shit like that. So, and I asked him, do any of y'all ever just think, to put y'all hands up, to fight? The room got kind of quiet, and then it went back to the same thing. But if I try to fight them, they ain't going to fight me. Mm-hmm. So what do you do? I mean, because I understand about protecting yourself and making the fight fair. I mean, I'm not going to go into a fist fight and you got a bat with nails and shit out of it and you glass and, you know what I mean? You got knives. I'm not going to go into a fist fight like that. So I could kind of understand, but I just want to ask him, what about just turning the cheek, just not going? If you know a person going to be that you may have a problem with, just don't go. Yeah. But then that is the pride thing. Somebody going to think they scared that they didn't show up and shit like that. So I personally think, like I alluded to earlier, it gotta start from one of their friends. It got to start from one of their friends. One of the friends got to say that's corny. Mm-hmm. And then he got to have a homie, like how we love each other, how we fucks with each other. To be like, DJ, I feel you. Yeah, that's right. Fuck that. We ain't doing that. We ain't on that. Mm-hmm. We're going to hope Apple Wayne hear us. We're going to hope Fat Nell, Roy, anybody get on the wave. And now we got 6 motherfuckers when we only had 1. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then they keep growing. We keep spreading that message. Or even if some people don't get it when you talk to them, they can see how we handle ourselves, how we carry ourselves. Mm-hmm. We can show them how you could be fly. You could throw that shit on. You can have a fly as well. You can have a bad bitch. Excuse me, ladies. But that's how we talk as a man. I mean, you can have all that, but still be doing the right thing. But they don't have nobody that's telling them that.
That's what I'm saying. And
they don't have no good examples.
The root of it is definitely them kids.
Somebody got to do it.
Yeah, them kids just being real bored. And like you said, just not having those examples to say. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel like you're scared and you don't know how to fight, hopefully you got an uncle or somebody coming to you. Like, them boxing gyms be empty.
Man.
Boxing gyms be empty, man. Right. Like, you go down, I used to go down to the King Center, it'd be like 3 young boys in there. But what I did with those young, I try to encourage them, like, go to trade school, go 100% with boxing, but learn a little trade or something, because the things that you can do with your hands, like, nobody can take away from you. Right. You can go to the basketball court, go to LA Fitness, you see the young boys in there. Like, you got to keep these kids busy. They really be bored. Only thing that make you say, I want to go outside, I want to spark up, I want to pop a pill, is because you ain't go to the gym, or because you ain't in school, or because you ain't, even if you're going to play the game, I'd rather you sit there and play the game. I'm 35. I'll be on the duty. I'm Donnie 1800. Send me an invite. I'm nice too. You know what I'm saying?
But then again, that goes back to they gotta think that's cool to do it. Yeah. It got to be something about that. They could take that turn or want to be doing some positive shit, but they got to see somebody that they respect over there that to do it. Yeah. And we can't rely on the rappers. That's the most influential shit out there. They're not going to change their tone, or they're not going to talk about blowing somebody's fucking head off or doing this and doing that, because they know that's entertainment. That's what the people want to hear. But they should show the young boys how these motherfuckers really don't care about y'all, because they know how influential their words are.
I think
so. If you really understood that, and if you really cared about the youth, you'll find a way to dial that shit back. Yeah. But I'm not going. Act crazy. I understand the money, and you got family to take care of, and then your mind like, man, fuck that. Yeah. And that's how I got to take care of my kids. If they gonna listen, this what they want to listen to. I'm not gonna not take care of my kids because you think I should post a positive message. Well, that's all actually would have come down to, sacrifices and everything, and for the well-being.
I like that. I just was talking to Rel, and Rel was doing some, he always doing something for the youth or whatever. Always. Like that. But that would be a good start for even me and you if we came to him and we seen what he was doing. I think he trying to run for something too. It's Terrell Brown. Y'all can look him up. He a public figure. He always doing something positive for the kids. Mm-hmm. But that'd be a good start also. You know what I'm saying? If he got things and programs that he got going on, Rel, I wouldn't mind volunteering. DJ already do his thing with it, and you really can get anybody that be down there in your backyard. Like we can have a conversation like how we have any other cookout to try to move it a little forward. Each and every last one of us got our own specific hobbies that we like. We got our own different career paths that we got. We all good and fun. They can say, kids might think we corny or whatever, but it's a good time for us to get together and like really try to bring them apart. We even gotta get App a young boy, App a nut, but you gotta get App a young boy.
Keep fucking no. No,
because Appy on the shit, man. I love that dude, man.
App is living, right now.
I told him he ain't got it no more, but he's still on.
I'm very inspired by that dude, man.
I tell that nigga ain't got it no more, man.
I mean, I just love the way the way he move out, man. Like the dude is like,
nah, you gotta love it.
If you watch somebody have a good fucking time, that's when you know you ain't no hater. I really got love for my brother, man. Like I gotta really sit back and watch this motherfucker act a fool all night, and I'll have a fucking ball. You know what I mean? So just goes to show, like we love each other as friends, man, and we are fortunate to have each other to be able to tell each other like, no, Donnie, put that shit down. Mm-hmm. Or if you call me and we about to go see some bitches or some shit like that, and I got a fucking gun on me.
Oh, let me share.
Tell me like, no, DJ, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we not on that type time.
So when I was smoking weed crazy, I was like, I started at like 12, 13 or whatever, and I got to like 16. I graduated. 17. I graduated high school. I go into the store. I was popped. I was washing dishes at the time, but I was popped because I spent my money on weed. Like, so I go into the store. Big Sam I could always go in there and get a drink, get some chips or something like that. And I went in there high as shit one day. He was like, "Yo, you ain't gonna keep coming in here not paying me for the juice and the chips.
But you gonna pay for
you still gonna pay for the weed and stuff. Like, yo, don't come in here no more trying to get nothing free if you gonna be high." And that shit like really, really took it in, because not only
good
that,
examples.
In hindsight, I could say all this right now. Like I could see that somebody actually really cared to say, "Yo, what are you doing?"
We thought he was drawing back then when you said it. I mean, you got upset, right?
But that shit clicked for me, because not only that, I wanted to go to the Stinger with them niggas too. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, look, this is what I want to do, and it was way better. And there ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed or something, but it's something wrong with a 16-year-old, 15-year-old, 14-year-old out there really getting high out of his fucking mind every day. Yeah. And you ain't even got no mind yet. Like, shit ain't really click. That shit probably fucked me up, because shit ain't really clicked for me until like 25, 26. You know what I'm saying?
What probably fucked you up?
Smoking I used to be smoking too much, bro.
Listen, don't promote that shit. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about
don't promote that shit. No, I got that, but stay on that. Talk about that. Why you gotta?
Because that's my story. I think that shit was fucking with me.
I'm looking for any sponsors here. We promoting a positive message. We talking to the youth, but it will be other episodes where you'll see us actually partaking. Yeah, all right. But seriously, man. Again, not just us vibing as homies, man, as lifetime friends, but I felt compelled, to bring this message to y'all. And again, why not better than go? To my homie, my dog. You know what I mean? And, somebody I grew up with, I've been through some shit with and got into some shit with and didn't always agree with, but those are people that you need around to tell you when you're wrong, or to tell you when you're right, or to give you some advice, through the good and the bad. Yeah. So that's what more so our youth need, I think. I think they need to make better decisions, choosing their friends better. And the guy that's going to let you go out and make a fucking fool of yourself, he don't care about you. That's not a friend. A friend is not going to make sure you fall in your fucking face. A friend is going to make sure you get home safe. You're going to make sure you made the right decision to make sure you get back home to your family. Nah, bro, that's not good for you. You shouldn't do that. A friend's not gonna fucking entice you to go throw your life away while they go home to theirs. You know what I mean? That's not a friend, man. So again, I want to send a shout out, a rest in peace shout out to Noodles,
Rest in peace, bro.
and Salah, y'all
Rest in
young
peace,
brothers, man. I mean, I wish a better outcome for y'all young lives, that y'all could have lived a lot more than do the things that y'all needed to do, or that y'all parents wish y'all could have did. But you don't question God, and I just pray that y'all young brothers are in a better place, and in God's hands. You live your young youthful life, and to the parents, Malik, I mean, my guy Joe, and Tanisha and y'all people, I really, I'm praying for y'all. I mean, that y'all get through this tough time, and also the parents, who kid was arrested as well. Do that. I mean, I'm praying for her as well. That's my dog. I'm praying for her. So she know what's up. You know what I mean? It's a tough situation, and I really wanted to do my job to help get a message out there to help our youth be better. You know what I mean? Help this city out, speak on some of the things that I'm hearing from the actual youth mouth and some of the suggestions that I have. Hopefully, I mean, one right here turned into 2 today with me and my dog, and hopefully it's 2 more voices out there that hear it's turning to 4. Yeah. And we keep doubling that so this message can keep getting out there. So again, I thank y'all for checking back with us again right here at the Prolific Podcast. Again, I'm not sure what number we at, but when we post it, we'll put the correct number and we'll go from there. But Donnie, I appreciate you, my dog, coming through for me once again.
You already know.
Yeah, we're gonna do this shit again, man. So again, we appreciate y'all listening. I holla at y'all. Prolific Podcast, DJ, and me and Donnie.
Yeah,
be good, man. Peace and love.
I'm prolific, so gifted. I'm the type that's gonna go get it.